Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the 8th episode of our 10-in-1 video series entitled 100 Commonly Misused Words Used in Wide, Narrow, and Jumbled Sentence Structure. Our last set of words in episode 8a includes lay/lie. These words are so interesting in English as they do not have conflicting sounds and they do not have conflicting spellings either. When you look at the two words very closely, you will discover that their spellings are clearly different. The first one is L-A-Y and the second one is L-I-E, and their sounds are different as well. Now let's begin to look at them one after the other. For the first one, you have lay. What's the meaning of this word? Lay. This word means to put something down gently. That is, to rest something on a surface. That's the meaning of lay. And is an irregular verb. As an irregular verb, you will expect that it doesn't agree with ed in the past. So to form the past and the participle of this word, you are going to have to change the form of the word. So lay is the present tense form of the word, while the past tense form of the word, represented by pt here, is laid. And then the past participle form of the word is laid as well. So you have lay, laid, laid. These words are used to describe the action of resting something or placing something on a surface. One important thing that you must again understand about this word is that it is not an action that you do on yourself. The word, okay, is not an action that you do on yourself. It's an action that you do on something else or on someone else. So you can talk about laying a child down, that's correct. Or you talk about laying a book on a table, that is correct as well. So whenever this word lay is used, it is always followed by an object. In that sense, we say that it is a transitive verb. A transitive verb is the type of verb that transmits action to an object in an expression. Another thing that can help you to understand the meaning of this word, lay, is to always remember that it is spelled with what? A. That is talking about the present tense form of the word. So if you remember that it contains the letter A as in place, placing something, so you will be able to understand that the meaning is to place something on another or on a surface. To place one thing on another. So that's the meaning of this word in English. So let's talk about the usage of the word in expressions. The first one, unfold the blanket and lay it on the floor. Unfold the blanket and lay it on the floor. So you can see the way that lay is used in this expression. It is being followed by an object, it. Lay it on the floor. And this is used in the present. It is the present tense form of the word. Then for the second example we have, she laid the blanket on the floor. This is the past tense form. So like I explained earlier, lay is the present tense, and then laid, L-A-I-D, is the past tense form of the word. So this action was done in the past. She laid the blanket on the floor. Then for the third one you have, she had laid the blanket down before she left. She had laid. So even when you are using this word in its past participle form, that is when you are modifying it with anomalous, then you are going to still take the similar form that it took when you were using it as past tense. So she had laid the blanket down before she left. She had laid the blanket down before she left. So that is how to use these words in expressions, both in its past and in its past participle form. We now move over to the next word, which is lie. Lie. This is a very special word in English. And like I tried to differentiate between the two words at the beginning of this analysis, this is an action that the subject does on itself or on himself or herself, as the case may be. Whereas lay is an action that the subject transmits to the object in an expression, the action involved with lie is not transmitted. In other words, lie does not take a direct object. When you use lie in an expression, you will not expect to have an object following the verb in that expression. So that is another very good way to differentiate between the use of lie and lay in present tense form. Whereas the action involved with lay is transmitted between the subject and the object in an expression, the action involved with lie is not usually transmitted. In other words, lie is an intransitive verb, meaning that it is not usually followed by a direct object. Now, let's look at some things more about these words. Number one, we said it means to assume rest or to lie down, to sleep, to recline. That is what it means to lie down, to sleep. Then number two, it is not usually followed by an object. I think I've explained that earlier. You will always expect to see this word down in an expression where lie is used to mean reclining or lying down to sleep. Now, the conflict between the two words is in the fact that the past tense form of lie is the present tense form of placing something on another. So you are now going to have some challenges when the word lay is used in an expression. You will now be thinking, does this mean to lie to sleep or to place something on a surface? So one thing that will help you in a situation like that is to check whether the word is followed by down. If it's followed by down, then you know it means to recline in that expression. But if it is not followed by down, or rather, when it is followed by an object, then you know it means to place something straight on the surface. That is one thing you can use to differentiate between the use of lay as present tense form of placing something on the surface and or as past tense form of reclining. Then another thing that you can use to differentiate between lay as present tense form of placing something on the surface or lay as past tense form of reclining is to check the context, that is the expression, the sentence, whether the action is being done on self. If the person speaking in that context or the person using the word is receiving the action of this word, then you know it means to recline in that expression, of course, the past tense form of it. But if you see lay in an expression and the person speaking is transmitting the action of this lay to an object in that expression, then you immediately understand that it means the person is placing something on another. It doesn't mean to recline. It means the person is placing something on a surface. It doesn't mean to recline. So that is how to differentiate between these two words, all right? That is the present tense form and the past tense form of the lay, which conflict in spelling and in sound. Now, like we have here, the two words are both verbs. That is the part of speech to which they belong. So, how do we use lie in expressions? Number one, I am so tired, I need to lie down. This is the present tense usage of the word lie. And like we explained, you can see that it is being followed by what? Down. And if you consider the expression very closely again, you discover that the person speaking in this context is the same person receiving the action that is being released by this verb. So I am so tired, I need to lie down. The action of this verb lie is being done on the speaker in this expression. So this is how to understand that lie means to recline. Then number two, we have I felt sick, so I lay down. I felt sick, so I lay down. This is the past tense form of the word lay. Lay is the past tense form of the word, and this expression is the past tense usage of the word lay. Number 3, I had lain there for some time before getting up. This is the past participle usage of this word, lay. In the present tense, you're going to have lie. In the past tense, you will have lay. And in the past participle form of it, you will have lain. Then as for lay, in the present tense form, you will have lay. In the past tense, you have laid. And in the past participle, you have laid. So this is how to use these words in expressions. Let's now take a step further and consider their appearance in past questions. Why 2005? She dashed the sleepy baby on the bed. A. Lay. B. Lies. C. Lied. D. Laid. The correct answer to this question is laid. The reason is that lay is the present tense form of placing the baby on the bed. But this action has already taken place, therefore we cannot use the present tense form. Then you have she lies. Since we said the action is past, this lies is a present tense verb. What about she lied the baby on the bed? You cannot use this form of the word in this expression. This is the past tense form of lie to say something else. That is, when someone is not telling the truth, then you say that the person lied. So in this context, the correct answer to our question is option D. She laid the baby on the bed. Remember, we said this is the past tense form of the word lay, that is to place something on a flat surface. So we still have it on the board: lay, laid, laid. And we said this word is a transitive verb that anytime it is used, it transmits action to an object. So in this context, we have she laid the sleeping baby. The sleeping baby automatically is a noun phrase here, and that is the object that is receiving the action of laid in this expression. Then for the next question, we have WAEC 2002. Yesterday, I dashed on the beach for half an hour. A. Laying. B. Lay. C. Lie. D. Lied. We cannot say I lied on the bridge. That expression is not correct. If you use this word to mean what is not true, then this one will become the past tense form of it, lied. And that is not what we are talking about in this expression. For this expression, this fellow went to the beach and probably did something there. Did the person lie or lay? Remember, it was yesterday, so we cannot say that the person lied. You can't say the person lied yesterday. So the correct answer is that the person lay yesterday. So we say, yesterday I lay on the beach for half an hour. This is the past tense form of the word to recline. Yesterday I lay on the bridge. No, this word can only be used if it is in past participle form. That is, if there were has or have in the expression, or primary auxiliary verb is or are. So you are not going to consider this option because there's no anomalous auxiliary verb here. Therefore, the correct answer to the expression is B, lay. So that is that about the words that we plan to discuss in the first part of episode 8. Please stay tuned while we continue this discussion in episode 8B.